Naruto 561. Okay, very good chapter. Made a prediction. It wasn't a real super bold one, but kind of, Tsuchikage and Gaara would take care of the asteroid, which they did. Kisimoto made it more interesting by making it a double asteroid. Okay, pretty good stuff. Anyway, spoiler alert. If you haven't read it, please go read it, because we're just going to talk about stuff. Okay, this was really, really a good chapter. Okay, I've looked at other people's reviews and stuff. Everybody seems to be pretty happy with it. It's good. There's a lot of different bits and pieces in here. I found this a chapter. It was rereadable. I've went over it a few times. I found it pretty good. See a few points. Madara. Okay, he was overpowered, and now he's even more overpowered. Whatever Kabuto did is, I don't know. The whole, we're just going to see as Madara just keeps doing crazy stuff. And of course, Naruto. Now, Naruto's been getting more and more powerful and expending a lot of energy, and then it put him to the point to where, the Nine Tails and him are getting along better. But anyhow, we go through, semi-order or whatever. Okay, the Tsuchikage has been. The author is making us really like this guy. I mean, he's doing a lot of awesome stuff. He's showing a lot of courage. He's, like I say, he wasn't a character I really cared too much for to begin with, but I really like him now. There's a technique that Stephen King would use in his book. He said that he would create characters that people liked and then start killing them off one at a time. Well, we're not getting a big name kill off like in a Stephen King book, but I think it's the same thing here. I think, and everybody knows it. This is going to be, and that's not much of a spoiler, is it? Tsuchikage, right? Everybody right in the beginning is like, okay, he just may have a heart attack and die anyhow. So everybody's kind of already got him on he's on everyone's death pool. Everybody already, okay, one way or the other, he's going to go. And then at the very end, I'm going to jump around to, and then at the very end of this chapter, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to totally jump all over the place. Okay, and at the very end, okay, he says, the time to pick myself up off the ground, finally here. And there's no opponent more worthy. So he has some kind of mega ultimate destruction, something that he's going to probably do in the air against Madara. Now the only thing is Madara is just going to regenerate. I mean, he just got destroyed by 2 asteroids, and he just went, well, he already knew, I'll just regenerate. That's how this impure earth thing works. So unless he gets, the only thing that Madara has to worry about now is what? Getting sealed. And if Kabuto, Itachi said he could end this. I mean, if I don't know, it goes back. If Kabuto's dies, or because he's controlling this, right? I mean, if it stops, do all these characters just go back to being dead? I think that's how it works. So I don't know. But anyway, there's going to be some more cool ninjutsu stuff that's going to come out. So that's going to be awesome. And this has been an awesome chapter. I mean, you're getting a little, and the pace. I want to talk about the pace that Kisimoto is just, he's just teasing out, just throwing a little, he's keeping it interesting though. He's giving us just a little more, just a little, it's really awesome. The pacing in this is wonderful. I hope he just keeps doing this. I think it's great. Like I said, I'm patient with this war. The war can go and go. It can last. I'm very happy. As a matter of fact, when I'd like to. Well, anyway, we're going through old ground, and I'm sure everybody out there, it's the same thing. There's characters you'd like to see more of, and like the 7 Swordsmen. It would have been nice if there was more stuff that we could have actually seen instead of being, just kind of filling in stuff there. So, anyway, it is interesting. But, and then, of course, people are concerned. What's another topic? Tsunade going to the front. A lot of people, everybody's like, hey, no big names have died yet. No big names. And you could say, well, the Tsuchikage is a big name. Is he really? Okay, he's a Cage. That would fill that blank. But is he a character that we've been following for a long time that's died? Like Jiraiya. That was big. Okay. Jiraiya dying, whether you liked his character or didn't. That was big. Huge. So Tsunade, she'd be the last. You know? So, I don't know. You know, Jiraiya gone. Now, Orochimaru, of course, is... I don't know. I could see where Tsunade dies and Orochimaru comes back. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. So anyway, God, there's a lot of different... There's a ton of different stuff here. Okay, and the deal, Rubber Guy is saving a... And a lot of people brought this up. But he found it saving a Naruto clone as being more important than saving a Naruto clone than actually saving any of the other ninja around. Or even the Tsuchikage. I don't know if he had the ability to get to him or whatever, but I thought that was a little like, gee, thanks for helping us. And then, but anyway, so I thought that was a little cold, you know. But hey, you know, he made his choice, right? And that this guy's still alive. The Tsuchikage's still alive. Didn't he split? And then he's only got like, and then he split. And he's only got half his power, and I don't know. And then he's been, I don't know. Like I say, we'll see. He's got some kind of nasty technique up his sleeve, so I think we'll see. Or will we? I think it's about time for us to switch over to another battlefield. I do. To see something that Toby's doing, or Itachi can. Actually, it's probably time for someone to confront Kabuto, Itachi, okay, Sasuke, because, okay, let's go ahead and get to the point. Okay, the Nine Tails is now giving power to Naruto to counter Madara's power, okay, because the relationship is basically that the Nine Tails Fox can basically interact with Naruto or not. Naruto can't force the Nine Tails to do anything, really. So, but Madara can. Madara can make the Nine Tails his little finger puppet. Okay? And the Nine Tails knows this. Okay, so that's the whole thing about, whoa, you know, hey, I love the part where he's actually, the Nine Tails is cheering, go Naruto, cheering Naruto because he doesn't want to be Madara's finger puppet again. So, and of course the whole, like I said, I'm jumping around quite a bit. The whole thing about, like I said, the timeline, you know, when did Madara die? Okay, I looked under Wikipedia, Toby, and it said in there that we beat the first, paraphrasing, we beat the first Hokage by looking, how we beat him was by looking into the future. So with Madara's time-space technique, he couldn't go to the future, but he saw the future, and that would explain Nagato. He knew that Nagato was coming, he was going to die. He absorbed enough from the first Madara, from the first Hokage, that he achieved the Rinnegan. He absorbed his power so he could use them, and then this, either another creature or, like I think it's a part Madara, part first Hokage combined entity. We'll see. That's my theory. It may not hold up too well, or maybe dead on. Who knows? But that's what I'm thinking of. Was the one that would stay. What? Well, he could basically what? He could basically go in the earth, take off, and they found Madara's body, and like, okay, this is over. And so he was the one that carried out the rest of the plan. So anyway, that's my idea of who Toby is. We will see. Everybody was waiting for that one. And a few people have commented about the couple of panels where Madara kind of looks down glances, and they're saying, well, and this was a pretty good. There was a pretty good point. There was a few people that mentioned some things about this. Is that the first Hokage's DNA, that there may be parts of Madara that might have a face where a face shouldn't be, or some kind of physical attributes or something. So we'll see from the first Hokage. So I mean, just for like two little panels with like one word apiece, it's gotten a lot of speculation. And Kabuto. Kabuto has been a character. He's basically was Orochimaru's butler, however you want to put that. He's been someone that's been there to move the plot along. Not a really. I don't know. I don't know if there's any Kabuto haters out there or whatever, but I don't know. This is. I don't know. He moves the plot along. I don't think anybody's been super over impressed with him. But the dialogue, people have pointed out the dialogue of Naruto's not that great. But then again, I don't know if I agree with that. It's all just like I say. There's a lot of this stuff that's in here simply to move along. Now I found it pretty interesting that Madara went ahead and did a summoning. That he's just wanted to make sure that the Nine Tails wasn't roaming around or whatever, that he could just summon it and grab it. And Naruto felt it. And they go the whole thing about the Mito, the Uzumaki clan. I believe she was the first Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails in the Hidden Leaf clan, not the first Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. I'm not saying that at all. But and that she was also the Uzumaki and this and that. And then, of course, there's the thing where Madara uses the wood release, of course, and then all the clones, with the power from the Nine Tails, he used it all up in one shot. So, Naruto. So, but anyway, that's not going to stand. Like I say, it looks like this is going to have. There can't be this perpetual standoff from Madara. Is laying out all this crazy, insane damage, and Nine Tails is going to keep loaning power to Naruto to counter it. And then even when you destroy Madara, he just regenerates. So we're in a this is an unwinnable situation, regardless of how much power that you put into it, because he's going to regenerate. So I think this is where Itachi and Kabuto are going to meet up, and probably Sasuke. And that's another thing too. How many people out there? How many big, huge Sasuke fans out there? Okay, throughout this whole chapter, didn't even go, "Whoa, Sasuke isn't in here." I mean, that is for me, it's a criteria. If you're a big Sasuke fan and he's not in the chapter, and you're not even that concerned about it, that tells me it's a really, really good chapter. So, something to think about. But anyway, I think they're coming up. I would hope so. I think it's time. But also, when are we going to see the big battle between the first and Madara, the original thing, to give us some answers? This is really, it's reaching a. I mean, for me, it's reaching a point to where it's like, I realized in the beginning I'm saying it, and I can, keep spacing it out and keep giving us information at this pace. I'm happy with that, but wow, we have so many questions, and every time like a chapter like this, really, okay, you end up with even more questions, but it's great. It gives us all something to talk about, put out theories, right? And there we are. It's another awesome chapter for us to ponder until the next week. All right, if you would please give me a thumbs up. I'm an amateur. I don't pretend to be a pro reviewer, which I'm not, as you can tell. Thumbs up doesn't cost you anything. It would be awesome. And if you want to subscribe, that's cool. And until next time, everybody, take care.